Good morning, Helldivers. The gaming industry has been plagued as games as a service for a couple of years now. AAA studios releasing half-finished games with full price tags, live service, and let's not forget the $20 battle pass, and you're supposed to play these broken games for years to come. As much as I wanted to believe that this was going to be a one-off and not something that was going to just plague the gaming industry, we got garbage live service game after garbage live service game. And after the biggest and most recent blunder, Suicide Squad, with having a concurrent player base of under 1,000, I was ready to turn around and never look again at a live service game. That is until Arrowhead Studios released Helldivers 2 on PS5 and PC. Who knew that the path to democracy and liberty would be paved in the live service? I'm just some guy on the internet, and here's my honest review on Helldivers 2. Live service done right. Spoilers for the game, obviously. It's a review. I don't know why people are surprised. This is spoilers. Story. I'm using the term story here quite loosely. When you boot up the game for the very first time, you'll be greeted with a propaganda message, essentially. They encourage you to enlist to become a Helldiver because all across the galaxy, homes are being destroyed, babies are being kidnapped, and this is all because of the Terminid and Automaton invasions. After a short message from, I guess, your sponsor, are set off into the basic training where you are put through the most brutal and the most realistic combat simulations ever known to man, and are immediately shipped off into a destroyer to become an official Helldiver. Throughout the entire tutorial, there's this voice of a grizzly old man talking about how he was like the #1 Terminated and Automaton destroyer. He was like the best of the best. And he's the one who's going to be overseeing your training. And the first thing he says is that he's not impressed easily. As soon as you pass the training, like, I'm not saying like finishing it, as soon as you enter the training ground, he goes, "Wow, I'm impressed."
I'm not easy to impress. Helldiver training is the toughest test in the galaxy. But I can tell that doesn't scare you. Impressive.
And you quickly realize that there's no one actually there. It's just a pre-recorded message, and it's quite sad because it's supposed to hype you up, and you're supposed to be talking to the Super Earth's most elite among elites, but it's actually just a pre-recorded message of a guy telling you of how awesome you are. After completing your basic training and being told how special, unique, and how important you were to the defense of Super Earth, you cross a line that says you must obey. Not to mention, while you're being shot off into Destroyer, you can see a bunch of other Helldivers being shot off into space the exact same moment you are, having completed the exact same training you did, making you feel like you're just a number. You know, not like in real life. Once you're on your destroyer, you'll have the choice whether you want to fight the Terminids or the Automatons, and that's been the story. Defend Super Earth from the invasion of their enemies. Still a better premise than Suicide Squad if you ask me. The story fulfills its purpose tremendously well. It's giving me the reason to go shoot things, right? It's like, you are a hero, you need to defend Super Earth. And there's this really like weird, not weird, but underlying tone of the corporatization of the military and how people are just a number in companies. They don't even let you name your character. Actually, when you play the game, you have a female voice, and then when you die, you have a male voice. And then when you die again, the voice changes, just to further solidify the fact that you are just a number and not actually a person. It's randomized every single time. I know a lot of people are gonna complain like, "Oh, where's the story? Where's the story? Where's the story?" I don't need a 10 to 20 hour story when I'm playing a live service game if the gameplay loop is fun. Speaking about loops, let's talk gameplay. The game is pure video game fun. The gameplay is pretty simple. You play as a nameless Helldiver tasked with the mission of stopping the invasion towards Super Earth. Before going down to a planet, you'll have to choose your loadout. Your loadout consists of your armor set, one primary weapon, a secondary weapon, a grenade, and 4 stratagems, topped off with a booster. Boosters are buffs that will help all Helldivers entering the mission with you, such as quicker stamina regen, or possibly being brought back down from the fray full ammo when you get revived, or straight up even taking less damage. In your primaries, that's where you're going to find your rifles, your assault rifles, your shotguns, things of that nature. As for your stratagems, for anyone who doesn't know what a stratagem is, it is basically you are calling down assistance from the destroyer up above you. When it comes to your stratagems, you have so many options, and that's where a lot of the fun comes from the game. You have things like eagle strikes, where you'll have like 2 jets come in and just drop bombs. An orbital laser just wiping every enemy on the map before you. And you even have a 500 kilogram explosive. It's basically a mini tactical nuke. It is fantastic to see. However, most important thing to remember is to make sure you let your party know that you're dropping these things, because friendly fire is on and you will probably die more times to your party than to any other enemy. As for how the game feels when your boots are on the ground, it feels fantastic. The guns feel weighty and impactful. The sense of dread I would feel when I ran out of ammo, when I was being surrounded by enemies, sometimes felt a little bit too real for me. But the pure rush of dopamine when you destroy an entire bug nest using a freaking tactical mini nuke on them feels phenomenal. And the best thing, the matchmaking is great. You'll have no issues trying to enter a game. It is fairly fast and quite reliable. I have had connection issues. They are becoming fewer and fewer far between, so that definitely does bode well for the future. When it comes to weapons and armor, you do have a decent size to choose from. There are a little gripes I have with the armor, which I'll be discussing later on in the video. As for the enemies, which there is a very wide variety of, might I add, they are savage, intelligent pursuers with unrelenting forces of nature, just chasing you down. None of that Assassin's Creed AI will straight up look at you and then you go behind the corner and it forgets you existed. Like, you'll have enemies just chase you down until you run out of stamina and basically hope. They just chase you until you give up, which again only adds to the thrill of the combat and gameplay. I know you must be thinking to yourself, the game must get quite repetitive if all you're doing is shooting bugs. Wait, there's more. You see, yes, the main objective is to shoot bugs and destroy automatons. However, depending on the planet you go on, you'll have different mission objectives. Some missions are fairly simple, eradicate 150 robots. Other missions will have you destroying hatcheries. Other missions will have you trying to shoot off a rocket into space while you're defending the point. And the best mission of all is secure the citizens. My favorite one. Not only will your missions vary from region to region, the time of day will also change depending on where you choose to be on the planet. Yes, so if you choose a side of the planet facing the sun, it will be daytime. If you are facing a side of the planet that is not facing the sun, it will be nighttime. And on top of that, the planets all have different effects. The closer the planet to the region, the less hostile it tends to be. However, there are some planets where it is a complete desert and there's a lot of wind, so your vision is blocked. Other planets extremely hot, so your stamina runs out quickly. And then you have on the other side of the spectrum where there are planets that are just full of plant life, reducing your visibility, making it harder to traverse because you're constantly getting tangled in branches and you're slowing down, and then you jump into the water and then you realize it's much deeper than you thought it was, and then you end up drowning anyways. Needless to say, the game offers a ton of variety, whether it's your loadout, your stratagems, or the planet and enemies you choose to fight on. There is a leveling system as well, however this is not an RPG by any means. A lot of your stratagems are locked behind your rank, so you should see your level more as your rank instead of you actually leveling up. Once you reach a higher rank, you'll have access to new stratagems that you can buy for in-game credits. And as an added thing, there is no pay-to-win option. Talking about currency and pay-to-win, there is a super credit or premium currency. In the game, you have 2 separate battle passes, and you also have a super credit store. The main battle pass, you can unlock everything in there using medals, and medals you acquire by completing missions. Not only do you get them for completing missions, you can actually find some on the mission. As for the premium battle pass, it costs 1,000 super credits to unlock. However, you can actually get super credits from the regular battle pass using your medals to unlock the premium battle pass. And everything in the premium battle pass only costs medals. So if you don't mind the grind, you could actually get all of the content for completely free. As for the environment, it's fantastic. I mean, it's not Final Fantasy VII by any means, but for the sheer amount of enemies that are on screen at a time, the visuals and sound is truly fantastic. You can tell exactly where the enemy is with nothing but audio cues if you're wearing a headset, and you can see enemies very clearly even in the distance. Like, they'll be covered in sand, and if you have that eagle eye, you'll be able to spot them because everything is just so well made. There is, like, I didn't notice any pop in here or there. Sometimes enemies do bug out and just stay on the field for a while, pun intended. But again, truly, the visuals and audio is out of this world.
Come out!
Now let's talk about the cons of the game. The armor bonuses are lacking some serious variety. You have a heavy armor set that when you wear it reduces damage, and also it reduces recoil when you're crouched. Then you have another heavy armor set that you can unlock further in the game, has the exact same bonuses. Then you have the Superstore version, which costs super credits or real money, whatever you want to spend, has the exact same attribute. So you have 3 different heavy armors that basically all fill the same exact role. Why? It's like, yes, I get it, they're cosmetic, which is fantastic, but I do need a little bit more variety in my armor sets, because like what's the point of unlocking all these armor sets if they do the exact same thing as the base battle pass? Like pretty much everything you can find in the Superstore is the exact same thing as the regular battle pass, but with a color change. You do have certain armor in the premium battle pass with a different set of skills, but those attributes can also be found in the super credit store for the same skills. Again, the only thing that changes again is the costume. It's not a big complaint, but also to increase the longevity of the game, I think you need to have more armor bonuses, not just the same ones over and over again, and just changing the color. And it's always the same 2 together. You'll never see like engineer type character. It's going to be reduced recoil and more ammo. For the heavy type, it's going to be less damage and less recoil. Like, you know, we need to change it up a little bit more. Either swap abilities with different armor sets or create new ones, something of that nature, because right now it's a little repetitive with the kind of abilities you can get from the armors. Helmets have 0 effect on the game. They're 100% just cosmetic. I understand the game is fairly new, so they might be waiting to give us effects on our helmets, but I can only judge the game on what it is right now. Losing connection at the end of the mission. This has happened to me quite a few times. It's very, very frustrating because I don't get the XP, I don't get the medals, and I don't know why, but it keeps happening at the end of the mission, like as I'm about to leave. I have 0 connection issues throughout the entire like 30 minutes of gameplay, and then at the very end, lose connection. I don't know if this is a server issue. I know it's not an internet issue on my side because I have fantastic internet, so I really hope that they address this. It has been happening less and less, but it still does happen. Credits and resources becoming obsolete too fast. Stratagems cost regular credits to unlock and need resources to be upgraded. You can get a fair amount of credits per mission, so you can start buying stratagems very, very fast and unlocking them even faster. And the same thing goes for the stratagem upgrades. You use your resources. If you're doing it on Helldivers, you can get like a lot of resources very fast. So like it's going to become obsolete super fast. I'm just gonna have a bunch of credits and a bunch of resources that I can't do anything with. I'm hoping in future updates that we're going to be able to use the resources to possibly upgrade our weapons or even upgrade our armor. But at this point in time, a lot of my friends actually they bought everything in the store, so they're just sitting on a pile of credits and resources. Final thoughts. This game is a true gem. With a $40 price tag, the gameplay loop is incredibly fun. The story and premise do exactly what they have to do to make you want to play the game. The planets, loadouts, enemies feel different from one another, that when you're going from mission to mission, it feels refreshing. There are a couple of small issues here and there, but nothing that can't be fixed with an update. Needless to say, Helldivers 2 is a day 1 purchase for me, and it should be for you too. with that being said, we're gonna bring the video to a close. If you made it to the end, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you can help me do that, that would be fantastic. And if you don't want to, well, remember, at the end of the day, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.